There's something really crazy going on right now in YouTube. This is really nothing new, but with the drama and everything that's exploding all over the platform, it's unavoidable, it's everywhere, and it's with multiple YouTubers. It just brings to mind something that I think it's very important that we talk about, that I'm not really seeing a lot of people have conversations about. I see a lot of people wanting to throw names around and talk about the specifics of specific situations, but I think that there's a bigger picture here that we should be looking at. If you hear snoring, it's Stella. I'm so sorry. She's under the table. It's her birthday today, so I don't have the heart to kick her out. YouTube, I love. I don't think it's any secret. Unfortunately, something that comes with a platform where anybody can make a YouTube channel, which is one of the things that makes this platform amazing, you also can see some very negative things happen. And I'm not just talking about drama. I'm talking about something bigger, something that is damaging our youth and just humanity's perception of what's toxic and what's not. I don't know if that makes any sense, so let me go into detail. I think if I had to sum it up in one sentence, it would probably be that on YouTube we're seeing behavioral disorders and things like narcissism, toxic behaviors held with high esteem, held as king. And we're seeing mental health issues, true mental health issues like depression and anxiety, abused. Some of these very same YouTubers use mental health issues that are very real as scapegoats to get themselves out of trouble. And regardless of whether or not these YouTubers actually suffer with anxiety or depression, those are the ones that you hear all the time, which really gets my goat because I truly suffer with those things. And I love to see people bringing more awareness to these issues if they're not being used for personal gain and lies and to get sympathy and to manipulate people. Anxiety, depression, people abusing those or making them up or using them for personal gain, that's nothing new. People having things like narcissism and manipulating people and just being toxic, that's nothing new. But the problem we're seeing with YouTube is it's making these bad things, narcissistic traits, abusive traits, manipulative traits, like emotional abuse, things like that, they're making them seem great. These people that have these traits are seen as wonderful people, and we want to be like that because look at how successful they are. And there's a lot of dangerous things that happen when you do that, and when you also are taking true mental health issues like depression and anxiety and either lying about them or using them for personal gain. So when you are elevating people who have these toxic behaviors, manipulative behaviors, abusive behaviors, and you are accepting when people use depression and anxiety as scapegoats or not recognizing it, and these YouTubers are choosing to use these very real mental health issues to manipulate their audiences, this kind of does three dangerous things. First and foremost, it devalues those who truly are suffering with mental health issues. Anytime that you have a YouTuber or anybody, and in just the real world, anybody that does this, it has these negative effects. But particularly on YouTube, where there's people with millions of viewers, you have a very, very, very big impact on how people view things. And when you have these big YouTubers that are using very real mental health issues as scapegoats, as things to get them out of bad situations, as ways to manipulate their audience and emotionally abuse their audience or other YouTubers to feeling sorry for them, to distract, to deflect, just to kind of gain popularity, you are devaluing those who actually have mental health issues that they struggle with. This does this in a couple ways. First of all, if you're lying about it and your audience catches on to it and they're like, you're kind of a fake, you're kind of a liar, it can leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, somebody says, oh, I've got anxiety, and they open up about it. But then all you're thinking of is this YouTuber who went and used that term anxiety to get their way and was caught in lies and was using that as a scapegoat. It harms the cause of fighting mental illness taboos and of making strides and people being able to get proper help and not being afraid to reach out. You are making depression, anxiety, any other mental health issues that you are using for your own gain, you are devaluing those who really are suffering. And that is a really, really bad negative thing. And then there's those YouTubers who say that they have these mental health issues, and they might actually have those mental health issues, but when you are using them in connection with really negative, toxic behavior as an excuse for just disgusting things, it's not helping anyone out. It's not helping your cause. It's hurting people. The second thing that I see as really, really negative that this kind of attitude and epidemic that we see on YouTube is doing is it is praising and encouraging these negative, really bad, very, very toxic behaviors. Now, I know narcissism. If you've seen any of my videos, or you've been on this channel for a while and you watch my videos, or even just scrolling through my list of videos, you will see quite a few that have the word narcissism in it, toxic behaviors in it. In my life, I have dealt with quite a few narcissists, like full-blown narcissists. I've dealt with quite a few people who have very toxic behaviors. I've dealt with abuse. I've dealt with just a whole smorgasbord. Is that the word? A whole collection of different kind of toxic behaviors. And I've studied a little bit about toxic behaviors in college. It's something that I know. It's something that I've gotten pretty good at recognizing. And unfortunately, YouTube is a breeding ground and thriving place for people with a lot of these toxic behaviors, especially narcissism. Narcissists, a lot of times one of their characteristics is they're charming and they can fool a lot of people. And so they thrive here where they can get an audience, which is something that we call narcissistic supply. A lot of times you'll see narcissists want to be in positions of power because they need people to constantly be stroking their egos. So naturally, YouTube, it's a great place for people with narcissistic personality disorders to come and thrive because they're usually very charismatic. They're usually really good at entertaining people. It not only makes things like narcissism seem normal, but it makes it seem desirable, almost like I want to be like that, which is not, I mean, making things toxic, harmful, manipulative behavior, abusive behavior seem normal is dangerous enough, but it's not just that, it's taking it a step further and making people, especially younger people, think that that is something that they want to be like. Not only is it normal, but I want to be a toxic person. I want to be a manipulative person and get what I want. And a lot of times we're not even realizing it's happening. You don't even realize that you're looking up to someone whose behaviors are unacceptable. The third thing that I feel like is really dangerous that this whole epidemic is doing kind of ties in with what I was just talking about, and it desensitizes us to these negative behaviors. When you're seeing somebody that you look up to and they have all of these negative traits, and maybe like in the beginning, you kind of sense it. You're like, it seems kind of messed up that she did that. It seems kind of weird that he would make a video on that. But then you kind of just accept it because you see floods of comments of people praising them and attacking other people or attacking their enemies or just saying, oh, it's okay. Like we queen, like we love you, we get you. It can cause you to kind of doubt yourself. Like, okay, yeah, like maybe I'm being crazy. Yeah, I mean, they're just confident. Who am I to judge? And you start making up excuses for them. So it starts to desensitize you so that maybe in your real life, you're getting mistreated by somebody, but you don't really recognize it as much because you're seeing the same kind of behavior with a toxic YouTube personality, but it's accepted. So in your brain, it's acceptable and you're leaving yourself open to be hurt. And even if you can recognize some toxic and manipulative behaviors that you're seeing in YouTubers online, when you're constantly bombarded in it, maybe you recognize it in one YouTuber, but another one you don't recognize it, but they are toxic, they're just toxic in a different way, it can leave you more open. In real life, you may not be as quick to recognize these kind of behaviors, and it leaves you open to be hurt. These sort of awful, bad behaviors because you're so used to seeing it online and it's seen as a good thing. On this channel, I'm all over the place. I'm not the best at kind of pinpointing what my channel even is about, but at the very root of it, I try to be very real about mental health issues and very proactive in the fight against stigmas and different things that society can have on mental health issues. Just YouTube as a whole has been a breeding ground for toxic, manipulative, abusive people for a long time. But right now, when there's drama exploding from so many corners of the internet, rather than just be disgusted and frustrated or make a video specifically calling out specific YouTubers and talking about the situations of their drama, I feel like it's a good opportunity to talk about the bigger picture, talk about the bigger issues, and use it kind of as a launching point to have a discussion about how there's an epidemic on YouTube, and it includes the elevation of people with toxic, manipulative, abusive behaviors and the devaluing of mental health issues. And it's a sad thing because YouTube, sometimes we see beautiful things happen where bigger YouTubers open up about the fact that they have mental health issues. And when done in the proper way, in a non-manipulative, healthy, honest, raw way, it opens the door for conversation. It gets people talking. It helps people feel less alone. But too often we are seeing YouTubers use these mental health terms and issues that they may or may not even have for personal gain or to get them out of trouble. And that is really hurting the cause. I guess that's all I really have to say on the issue. It's hard because there's a lot of YouTubers in the spotlight right now in a negative way who I'm sitting there thinking, like, I feel a little bit of relief that some attention is being brought to very ugly behaviors. And some of these YouTubers I don't watch, because when I started watching them, I picked up right away, like, this person is toxic. But it was hard to see so many people jump on these bandwagons, on these fan trains, and love this person when deep down I'm like, I just don't have a good feeling about them. Like, I don't know them personally, but what I have seen, what they freely put out there is not okay. And I think they've got deeper underlying issues. So in a way, it's really good to see these issues brought to light. I just hope that we can have good conversations. I hope that we can stop just using this as like, yeah, let's bash this person, or yeah, let's hate this person, or yeah, let's say, oh, I was right and you were wrong, or oh, I always hated this person. Like, I really hope that it gets people thinking and rethinking the people that they watch and the things that they accept, because there's some YouTubers out there who are big, who to this day, because they don't show it as openly, but to this day, people sing their praises and view them as wonderful people. But deep down, I feel like they have some very toxic behaviors, very manipulative ways. They're just a lot better at it because they're not caught, because people accept it. And I just hope that by looking at the more obvious cases of people who are getting called out with receipts and things like that, like, they help people kind of look more critically at the YouTubers that they love, or the celebrities that they love, maybe not even on the internet, but the people in their lives, and try to think and kind of break this really bizarre, really not good thing that we have going on right now on the internet and in YouTube, where we are accepting and praising and rewarding really bad behavior and hurting the cause for people who really have struggles with mental health issues. All right, I guess that's all I have to say about it. I better take Stella to have her birthday celebration. She is going to get to go to Petco and pick out, she doesn't really like toys, but she's going to get to pick out some grain-free treats because she's an English bulldog, so she can eat pretty much nothing without having a negative physical reaction. So it's Stella's special day. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and until the next video, bye.